Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Happy Sunday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Let's see. Hi, Carol, Peekaboo, and Margaret. Hi, Krista. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hi, Martha. Let's see. What did Martha? Oh, yikes. I thought we might have some, what are they called? Trolls? I've never had one before. And just to verify, that is a troll, right? Huh. That's funny, Martha, that you say that because what about what about what I'm showing about Blake? Okay, great. You guys can hear me. So I guess I need to block this person. I've never done that before. So later. That's never happened, you guys. Hi, CAH. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Laura. Just call me D. Honesty and truth. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Steve. I'm glad you're all here. Hi, Justagen. Happy Sunday. Hi, Kelly. Oops. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, I mean, you guys, so I posted a Blake video, and for whatever on X, it's gotten really big, like over 12 million um, views on it. And there's a lot of people that were upset about that video. I mean, considering that there's 12 million views, then of course, the ratio of people that like it versus people of don't is about the same, but because there's so many views on it. So yeah, I was really nervous that I would get some trolls in here. Now, whether they're sugars for Megan, which this person appeared to be because they called me the R word. And that's why I was like, well, what about Blake then? Because if I'm the R word, why do I talk about Blake? Um, but yeah, let's see. Who did I miss? I think I said hi, Amber, but hello in case I missed you. Hi, Andrea and Camilla. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Lisa. Glad you're here. Hi, Coral Sand. Hi, Melissa. I know 12 million. My first one that went viral like that was the Alec Baldwin video. And this Blake one is doing the same, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know a whole lot about Blake, and I haven't seen a lot of like compilations of her body language and her weird behavior anywhere. So I know that I'm showing stuff that maybe might seem old news to some people but it's new news to me. So I hope you guys don't get bored of that. Yeah, Krista, I know. I'm doing it. Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling I was a little nervous actually coming in here today. Um just cuz I had a feeling that there would be there would be some negative people here. Yeah, hi Pauline. Hi Squeegee. Happy Sunday. Hi, May. So I do have an admin, and unfortunately, she couldn't come today. So today I'm going to need to monitor it, and I'm also going to look to all of you just in case. And sorry if I'm putting pressure on all of you to look at that, but I've never had one before. So today was the first one. April 27, guys. First time. First time. Yes. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much. Hi, Fane. Welcome. I know, Steve. If they don't like it, you know, either enjoy it or don't listen, right? And then sometimes there's a part of me like, y- you don't need to be so negative and write bad stuff and all this stuff. And then I think to myself, like, no, let them say what they need to say because that's the most important thing. Like, I feel we need to have a freedom of speech. So go ahead and say it. Um, and although there's freedom of speech, there's also consequences to the speech, right? So, um, yeah, yeah. Let's see. What did I miss? Did I miss Amber? I don't know if I said hi to Amber, but hello, Amber. Yay, Squeegee's here, fully in the chat today. Glad you're here. Thank you. And Squeegee, I think today is a full day, right? I think the Sidley twins are on at 1 o'clock. I don't know if RHR Jen is doing a live today. Hi, Ginny. Hi, Deborah. Thank you, Melissa. This having this channel has really made me get a thicker skin. Very well said. You're not a hostage. You can leave if you want. Yes, Carrie, absolutely. I love that. I love the way you said that. Yeah, so how's everybody doing? Tell me what time it is where you are. For me, it's Sunday at 10 a.m. and I've been doing a lot of spring cleaning. It's been about 6 weeks, maybe longer, maybe it's like 8 weeks. And I'm getting help today at 1 o'clock. So in 3 hours, my friend's going to come and we're going to do the very last bit of spring cleaning. I can't wait. I can't wait to have more free time. Yeah, I can't wait. Carol says that is why Harry doesn't understand all the things that are being done is due to consequences of his actions. Yep. Yep. Thank you, Laura. Hi, Tracy. Oh, baby grandma says failed to send you a notification. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, baby grandma. I've heard of this happening to other channels. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, you tell them, just to Jen. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay, so for Carol, it's 1 p.m. and Camilla and Ginny. So you guys are on Eastern time, I think. Krista, it's 12 p.m. So Central time. Is that right, Krista? 1 o'clock for May and Carrie. Just a few minutes after 1 o'clock for baby grandma. 6 p.m. in rainy Scotland. Wow, that sounds so beautiful. I love rainy weather when I don't have to be outside. And a lot of people get surprised when I say that. But, where I am in Southern California, it's not that often that it happens, but I love overcast days. I love the rainy weather. It's just nice to have something different sometimes. For Rosanna, it's 6 p.m. Nice. 1 o'clock for Just Call Me D. 7 p.m. for Peekaboo. 10 o'clock in Arizona. Thank you, Eva. Nice. Okay, so it looks like mostly it's during the day for most people. Carrie's asking everyone to please hit the like button. Thank you. I know I did 2 lives this and a video. Yeah. Busy bee this weekend. Absolutely. So I had a members live yesterday and I'm doing this live today. And yeah, I don't know if I'll get a chance to post a video today. I'll try. I'll see what I can do. It's when I have my friend here and we're doing the cleaning, it's like 3-4 hours of work. So we'll see how I feel after that. Hi, Sue. So it's 1 o'clock in Ohio. Lisa, we're in the same place. I'm in Southern California also. Rain is your favorite weather, Camilla. Nice. I love it. Just Jen's like, it was raining here yesterday and I went out for a hike. That's amazing. I need to be inside when it's raining. I want to hear the raindrops. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Pauline. Thanks for being here. Baby grandma says I have a pot of beef noodles cooking and can hardly wait for my Instapot to signal they're done. That sounds delicious. Just Jen has bacon cooking. Nice. Oh, Moni says SoCal and love the overcast. I'm actually looking out. It looks like it's weird. Like when I look directly north, it's the clouds closest to me are kind of overcast, but then it's like beautiful. It looks like Simpsons weather, the Simpsons opening credits with the beautiful white clouds and the blue sky. And then when I look to my right, which is my east, it's like overcast and gray clouds. I love it. I love it. Carol loves the smell of rain in the morning. Oh, I love gardenias. I love the smell of gardenias. I recently, Bath& and Body Works, I don't know if you have that outside of the States, but they sell, like, lotions and body washes and candles and all really fragrant stuff, and they just did a collaboration with Disney, so of course I had to check it out, and I I ended up buying, Cinderella scents and Belle's scent, and Cinderella's is very gardenia smelling. It's so good. Lisa has fluffy clouds, nice, nice. Hi, Mahari, glad you're here. Glad you're here. Hi, Mary. Okay, Camilla would like to study Wallace Simpson and Megan. I've never studied Wallace. She had flaws, but Megan wishes she was on Wallace's level. You know, the more I'm reading, though, about Wallace, I don't know that you can say one is worse than the other so far, um, because maybe Wallace, like, publicly didn't say anything negative about the royal family, but I don't know, I feel like there was a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. I think 4 chapters into the book, The Traitor King, and I'm also going to start watching Cheer Denise's breakdown of the book. Um, but yeah, oh, hi, Colson Cake. Okay, Carol and baby grandma love Bath and Body Works. Hi, Kumari. Yeah, great topic, Carol says. Hey Raven, welcome. Ginny, your daughter got you the Cinderella one. Yeah, it smells so good. Yeah. Cheer Denise read about Wallace and Edward. It was really good. I listened to her The Traitor King many, many months ago, and I just got the audiobook a couple days ago. And I don't remember what happened that I stopped listening to it. I think I got to the part about their relationships with the, their secret relationships with that really, really bad man, and I don't wanna say the name because I don't know what kinds of things get flagged, and I think it was around then that I stopped listening. They just Megan and her seem like very incredibly similar. Roxanne, thank you. I appreciate it so much. TM says Edward was obsessed with Wallace. Absolutely. And I feel like Harry is obsessed with Megan, but I also feel like Harry, I don't know, he seems to be seeing it maybe a little bit. And, for Edward to end it with Wallace or Wallace to end, like for either of them to pull the plug on it, that would be so, like, he abdicated the throne for that, that's a really big deal, and then to end up in divorce. I feel like the pressure is a lot less on Meghan and Harry to end, their relationship. So, yeah, Harry is just like Edward, Krista says. Yeah. Thank you, Pauline. So I also, um let me check. I think because there were other people that mentioned the same book that you're saying, and I'm pretty sure I got that on audiobook too. My commute to work is really, really long. So, okay, I think I did Andrew Larman, The Crown and Crisis. Is that the book you mean, Pauline? Let me know. Let me know if that's the book. Oh, I should look at that one too. Cheer Denise did the book Made at Balmoral. That's an older book, wasn't it, right? TMTB? I can't remember. Yeah, yeah, Camilla, Wallace didn't want Edward to abdicate. Megan wanted Harry to leave. Wallace just flew too close to the sun. Megan's actions were calculated. That's a very good point, Camilla. That's a very, very good point. Yeah. Colton Cake says Edward was described like a puppy dog to Wallace, almost enjoying her austere, bold nature. Wink, wink. You know, there is a passage in Lady C's book where other people have said, according to Lady C, that Harry is like a puppy dog. his eyes follow her around the room everywhere. Um, yeah. I know, Steve. Isn't that so interesting? The choice of car that drove Megan to her wedding was the same exact car that drove Wallace Simpson to her husband's funeral. Yes, Krista. Edward also threatened that if he didn't get what he wanted. Yeah. Really, TMTB was banned in the UK. Do you know why? That's a good point, Carol. Divorce is more accepted in today's times. Yeah, for sure. Melissa says, I theorize finding out about the divorce book pitch really changed how Harry interacts with Megan. I think so too. Yeah, I think maybe that was an eye opener for him, but he tries so hard to make excuses for her, I feel. And I'm saying that as someone who's been through it, who doesn't recognize that the that a relationship is so bad, you're constantly like, you believe the weird things they say, even though it defies all logic. Oh, Krista says, I think it was banned because Charles knew it would make Diana look really bad. Huh. Well, I'll need to go through Cheer Denise's talk about that one. TMDB says it was banned because it was written by a domestic employee about the royals' domestic life. Oh, oh, that's interesting. Have any of you read it? What are your thoughts about it? Does it really paint Diana in a bad light? Sorry, guys, I'm having a sip of coffee. Let's see. Carol says Andrew Lowney has been doing interviews with Vintage Reader. Oh, I should go look at those too. Okay, look, Krista said the same thing. Look at you two. Carol and Krista, you're on the same wavelength. I know. Camilla says, I now have like 5 new books I need to read. Same. My commute to work is really long. That's why I get the audiobooks. And yeah, I have tons of entertainment. Tons of entertainment. Um, hi, Abertasso. Hi. Sound issues with laptop and working, but I seem to be late to all the lives. Okay, so the sound is okay then, Abertasso? Let me know. Laura asks, I heard some say Virginia's loss of life may be suspicious. What do you think? Um, so I haven't looked too much into it. I just saw the headlines and it makes me incredibly sad. Um, and no matter what way you look at it, what I don't want to give my opinions too much about this because in no way do I want to make people feel isolated or anything like that, you know. But in either case, it just makes me very sad for someone who had whatever struggles she experienced in young adulthood, and then for her life to end so young, you know. And I mean, I'm a big true crime fan, and you know, whenever someone does that action to someone else, a lot of times they try to make it look like it's self-inflicted, right? So I I guess we just wait and see what evidence comes out, and then we all know, you know, the sometimes things are not absolutely told to the public, right? We don't we won't really know what is going on. Oh, okay, Abertasso. Sound problems with your laptop. And okay, so I'm glad you can hear me, and I hope your sound gets better, Abertasso. So TMTB says it does paint Diana as very dramatic and demanding, but it also shows she was in the wrong place. She could have made better choices, to say the least. She threw tantrums and manipulated people. I can totally I don't know. I believe that completely about Diana. She's she's a very passionate person, and I think you can see that from just how much, emotions she had whenever she would do her work, right? Like that's genuine emotion and that translates into real life. Like that's to me she was a sensitive woman publicly, so I would imagine it would be the same way at home. Camilla says makes me sad and makes me sad that people are trying to use it to try to vindicate Edward. He had way more than one accuser. You mean Andrew, Camilla? Yeah. Yeah, Camilla, it makes me very sad. Um, Carol says a housekeeper's diary is about a maid in Highgrove reviewing her life at Highgrove. It reflected that Diana favored William over Harry. Diana would play games with Charles when visiting the children. Yeah, I'm not surprised about the Charles part, but I am surprised about favoring William because so far the books and things I've been reading, it's that um, Diana actually tried to compensate for the attention William would be getting by being more focused on Harry. So that's interesting that in this book it says the opposite. Steve says people are saying it's fake. If it is true, good on her escape. The media. Yeah, I mean it's troublesome, right? Either way, have any of you watched that? Ooh, I'm about to say a bad word. Have any of you watched that Netflix show called The Residence? So, not like the doctor residence, but like home residence. Um, I'm curious to know if you guys have seen that. So, hi, Faith and Repentance. Thank you. Thank you so much. Faith and Repentance is asking you all if you could please hit that like button. I appreciate it so much. You guys are the best. Thank you. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Silver Moon. You know, there's no late here. The door is always open. Hi, Nanny Jeannie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Overcompensated for Harry. This is what I heard too, only me, that Diana overcompensated and gave more attention to Harry. Um, yeah. Oh, thank you as ever, Squeegee. Thank you, Squeegee. Squeegee gifted 5 memberships. Yay. Thank you so much. Carrie says Diana was basically in an arranged marriage, not a love match. She was very young. And I think Diana really believed in the fairy tale love. Like, I think she expected when she was very young in the beginning, like, she expected there to be love. And I think that's why, during their engagement interview, when Charles was like, whatever love really means, I think she was really shocked by that. Like, what do you mean you don't know what love means? Yeah, Lisa says Diana had multiple affairs. Lady C says that she is aware of a lot more, but she chose to focus on Charles's infidelity. And here's my opinion. I think, and actually, I just saw something where Diana said this. I was going through some reels, and there was a clip of Diana saying that the the biggest problem that people on the world are facing is not having enough love or not being loved. And I think that really shows how Diana felt. I think if Charles was loving towards her and was did not cheat on her, I don't think that Diana would have strayed. I feel like Diana would have been incredibly loyal to him. And I think Diana had abandonment issues, and the whole thing with Camilla just flared up those abandonment issues like all the time. And, she was always scared, like, he's going to divorce me. And the royal family's going to, she was paranoid that they were going to try to get rid of her. So I think she had a lot of fear of abandonment. Krista says Diana told William way too much at his young age. Yeah. Yeah, and this is a boundary issue, right? It's putting a lot on a child's shoulders. Carol says Diana was broken emotionally due to her childhood. She had loads of mental issues. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Camilla. Yes. Diana told the family, you take care of the heir, I'll take care of the spare. Yes, I heard this too. TMDB says I watched The Residence. Okay, so in that story, And I need to watch it again because um, I don't always pay complete oh my gosh, excuse me. I was about to sneeze. I don't pay complete attention to the show while I'm watching it, but in that show, there's a gentleman who um, passes away at the hands of somebody else, and he predicts like, okay, today's the day. I'm not going to make it after tonight. I'm not going to survive after tonight. And I still haven't connected to the dots about how he knew that. And that brings me back to the Virginia story we were talking about. The if you wanna think of it as a coincidence that she was saying she wasn't gonna survive for longer than 4 days, and shortly after she passes away, um, yeah, that's I don't know, that's is that intuition? Um, is that planning? I don't know. Yeah, so that's a good I really like that show. Yeah, it's one of those, like, Agatha Christie type stories where people are isolated in a single place, and there's a lot of people that have motive for doing it and a lot of opportunity, and it's just working through it's a great I really liked it. Yes, Carol, that's a good way of saying it. Diana parentified William. Only me? What do you mean you are, like, number 65? I don't know what that means. Um I agree, Melissa. She has a family who is grieving right now. Yeah. I I agree, and I think she has young children also, so it makes me very sad. Um, Krista says, "I very much believe Charles loved Diana and vice versa, but it just wasn't meant to be." Yeah, and I think, you know, Charles's heart was already with he really loved Camilla, I think. And of course, I don't know as much of, the Charles and Diana story as I do about the Meghan and Harry story because the Meghan and Harry one, I've been watching it unravel in real time, you know? Colts and Cake says, "Could it be possible that Diana was acting erratic and emotional because Charles is a narc?" So, I don't know if Charles is a narc, but I do know that and you know what? I have notes about this because I was gonna make a video about Harry and narcissism. So let me pull my notes out and let me read you what I had said. I never ended up recording this video. Okay, so, mm, oh man, where's my notes? Sorry, everyone. Darn it, I can't find what I had said, but I think when someone that's experienced trauma or has major abandonment issues, like I think Diana had, there are certain situations that are basically, like, triggering, right? And I think the relationship with Charles, because she never felt that he was completely in love with her and her only, I think that brought out a lot in her that ordinarily wouldn't be there. Yeah, that's my opinion. Oh, did I fall I fell back too behind. Um Yes, TMTB. I've heard this also that she was jealous of their nanny. She thought it was Tiggy, right? She thought that Tiggy was gonna take her place. Yeah. Nanny Jeannie has a good point. Diana was immature because she was too young to take on such a massive role. She loved Charles in the beginning, but he hurt her deeply. Yeah. Mahiri, I'm sorry, says, I agree. I too believe that Diana lashed out against C after feeling rejected. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, baby grandma says, as a nurse who was with many at the end of life, I can say most of them knew they only had so much time left. Wow. Yeah. Camilla says, I remember watching Charles and Diana's wedding. Hi, Case Bats. Yay, you caught it. You're here. Um, yeah, Charlie says Diana is no saint either. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we none of us are perfect. We all have bad sides and good sides um and I think, that's recognizing that is important because in your real life too, right? Because when someone does something that you don't like them to do, if you like them that they did, you can separate the action from the person and you can look at, I this person is not perfect. They're not going to act perfect. And you can base I guess the reason I'm saying this is that I grew up with a lot of black and white thinking. As soon as someone did something you don't like, you cut them off. And if they did something good after that, then you bring them back into the fold. And for me, I didn't do it, but my relationships were with my family, um, like the generation above me, that's how all of the relationships were. It was very black and white. You're either a good person or you're a bad person. And accepting people as they are, is something that I had to learn too. Because I grew up with that, I also had a lot of black and white thinking. And, it's part of breaking the pattern for me is recognizing that two opposite things can be true at the same time. Yeah. Let's see. Mm, I like that. Silver Moon. No one was to blame. Everyone did the best they could at the time. Yeah, I like that. Steve says, I have my work cut out for me. They seem to be everywhere. And I feel like as empaths, there's more of a what is it? Statistically, I'm more likely to form relationships with them. Um, yeah. Snap says, my brother is a narc and he is very black or white thinking. It took me ages to get out of this habit too. It's really messed up when it's unnatural to you. Yeah, and that was actually one of the first lessons I learned in therapy. And it was, have you guys ever heard of dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT? I wonder if I can type it here, if it'll show. Uh, let's see if it'll show up. Yay, it showed up. Okay. So this is, oh, and you know what? And I can highlight it. Look at that. Okay. So one of the first things I did when I started therapy was this therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy. And I'm talking this was like 15 years ago. But the main point of it is recognizing that two opposite things can be true at the same time. I think that's what the dialectical part is. I'm so sorry, you guys, um, if I'm not getting it completely right. But it really did wonders for me. It helped me recognize my patterns a lot more. And I feel like I'm a completely different person since I started doing that. Yes, radical acceptance is one of the things. in DBT. Allison says it's a wonderful modality. Distress tolerance and mindfulness are very important components. Yes, yes. Um, Mahiri says, I'm struggling with a coworker who I'm convinced is a covert narcissist, but also I'm wondering if I'm focusing on her too much. I'm noticing every single detail about her behaviors, and it's all encompassing. You know, we are in complete control of our thoughts, and that's a weird thing to say, right? Well, maybe we're not in control once the thought pops up, but we're all in control if we want to dwell on it or not. And I find myself doing the same type of thing to Mahiri. The If it's something that you can try, if it doesn't um, affect you like directly, maybe try to let that thought like swim away. Harry thinks maybe I'm the one who needs therapy. Therapy is amazing. Therapy is amazing. If anything, it's someone who you know has your best interest in mind and you can bounce ideas off of them. Yeah. Yes, DBT works with all or nothing thinking. Yes. Yes. Um I've there's another CBT because DBT is a branch of CBT, but I don't remember it being compulsive. I thought the C stood for something else. I can't remember. Yeah, Camilla, DBT has been amazing for me. Amazing. And if you have a therapist that'll help you work through it, because it comes as like it's a workbook, the one that I used. And going through it with a therapist that knows about it is amazing because they'll keep you on topic to make sure that you're going through the book. Melissa says the best thing my husband did once we realized his dad is probably a narcissist was to find an actual therapist, not a Christian counselor. Therapy had been very demonized for him. I mean, I've had luckily a very great experience with therapy. The therapist that I did DBT with, she was amazing. And yeah, and I feel like therapy is something that's lifelong for me because, I have anxiety and it's nice to talk to someone about things and try to figure out, okay, why did this thing that doesn't seem to be a big deal, why did it bother me so much? And then taking step backs and recognizing like, oh, well, when that person said that, it reminded me of this feeling I had in childhood. And it's been great for me. Thank you, Mean Eileen. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. Yes, yes. I haven't done CBT, but I know that DBT is under the branch of CBT. Yeah. Let's see. Did I get too far behind? Okay, cognitive behavioral therapy works on reforming thoughts. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Cognitive. Thank you. Yeah, I never did CBT. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Just Me. Oh my goodness, look who's here. Hi, Resting Doll Face. I miss you. So glad you're here. Mean Eileen says, I suggest listening to videos on Stoicism. Sorry if I didn't read that or pronounce it correctly, which are free on YouTube. Solution focused therapy, Just Me says. Resting Dolphin's actual therapist is key. Making sure it's a therapist who believes in NA is important too. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, J77. April also says, "Love that you are so fair and level-headed. There's definitely too much black and white thinking, including with Charles, Camilla, and Diana. Three good people who do and did the best they can." I really try. I really try because, this is a pattern that I've had to break because I've been, a majority of my life has been surrounded by people that have this black and white thinking. And, I've talked about my dad a lot. A lot of people will say, well, your dad didn't stand up for you in front of your malignant narcissist stepmom. And how how do you still, see him in a good light? Or even my family, I've had family say the same, like, why are you even mourning him? He didn't stand up for you. And it's like, you know what though? He did the best he could. He did the best he could with the tools that he had. He never said he was a perfect person. None of us are perfect. And he loved me in the best way he could. And, my dad, the way he protected me is that when he recognized that my malignant narcissist stepmom was going to continue with the, I don't want to say the word, but the A word, and it was never going to get better, he decided to separate me from that situation. So my relationship with my dad, the majority of it was over the phone. I wouldn't really see my dad, but he did that to try to protect me, the best he could. So Krista says, I felt you with anxiety. Something so small could worry and bother me to the point it would turn to an anxiety attack. I know. And it's like snowball effect. Like once I have a thought and it so quickly gets to like the 10th thought, right? So kind of recognizing that that's where I go. Like for me, you guys, since I've been doing my my cleaning of my home, my spring cleaning, my friend that comes and helps me, she probably thinks I'm nuts because every time we put something somewhere, I'm like, but is it going to catch fire over there? Is it just going to spontaneously combust when I'm not home? And then my dog is going to end up injured because I'm not home. So that's, there's always like, I have a go to, like, I know exactly where my fears lead, So Camilla says therapy is amazing for anyone. I won't have a therapist who doesn't have a therapist. Texting her now about DVT. Yeah, DVT's great. Yay, Dollface. I miss you so much. Yeah, just me. Harry has had the worst therapist. Yeah. Um, and was Megan the one that introduced them? You guys let me know because he mentions it in Spare. Okay, Melissa says Harry talked to Spare about going to a therapist who suggested he had some arrested development, and Harry got all defensive about it. He didn't want to listen or understand. Yeah, yeah. Opinion has a good point. The first thing to therapy is an individual who needs to wish to change, otherwise, it won't work. Yeah. TM, oh, I love that. Compassion is the highest form of intelligence. I love that. Peekaboo. Her name is TB. Oh, thank you, Peekaboo. I love that. Let's see. Hi, Sandra. Oh my gosh, Sandra, can I tell the story? Sandra, can I tell the story? I'm gonna tell it. You guys, Sandra was my 28th subscriber. She was number 28. And back then I had an AI voice. It was terrible. It was seriously terrible, but she stuck around till my video quality, I think, got better. And I think my audio's gotten better. So, hi, welcome, Sandra. And I always remember number 28. I don't know why that number has stuck. Sandra says, yes, you can say it. Okay, good. Thank you. I feel like we haven't talked in forever, Sandra. Thanks for being here, Sandra. Opinion says a narcissist will never change. Only way to deal with a narcissist in a relationship is to get out and stay out. I mean, I was really lucky with mine. I had nothing tying me to him, so I was able to go no contact, thank goodness. But then sometimes that's not possible. Like if you have um, children with them or a business with them, or if it's your boss or something and you can't change your job, you know. And I think if you're in a situation like that where you can't go no contact, it's about having tools to cope with it. So I think Mahiri, sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, was saying earlier that they work with someone and um, they find themselves focusing on this person, and it's like if you are not able to separate yourself from that situation, then you need a toolkit. How are you going to um, deal with the stress of this? So I'll give you guys an example. I have a friend, and she was hosting some students in her home, and the students were getting ready to leave, and she was telling me, you know, the students are going to leave on such and such date, and I'm just going to be very sad when they leave because the home is going to feel alone again. And I told her, I'm like, you know, knowledge is power. Start planning now. What are you going to do on that day? Get your favorite TV show ready to go. Get some face masks or some candles, like have everything ready so that you're not um you're not caught by surprise and end up in those emotions without a way of coping with them. Oh, okay. Did I say sensitive about it? Sorry, Mahiri. Sorry if I put words in your mouth. Um, just made very good point. If you cannot leave, you need very firm boundaries. Yeah, and a very intensive self-care and wellness plan. Yeah, yeah. Melissa J says self-aware narcissists like HG Tutor are rare, but they're out there. You guys, you know what's hilarious? My ex-husband told me he's a narcissist. And I was like, "What? Come on." He told me. He knew. He knew. You know, they say when someone tells you who they are, believe them. Opinion says not everyone can afford therapy. Also believe too much therapy can be detrimental. The good thing in the day and age of YouTube and social media and the internet is that you can find focus groups too that are helpful. Um, yeah. Okay, Charlie, Megan, Hillary, Jada, Amber, Blake. How do you rate them in a NARC scale of 5 and why? Okay, so the most I know about these people is Megan. Okay, Megan is the one that I've been looking at and observing her for over a year. To me, Megan is a malignant narcissist. And on a scale of 1 to 5 on a narcissistic scale, I put her at a 5 and I put her as a malignant narcissist because Megan wants to hurt people. And what video did I do just the other day where I was showing how she really did want to hurt people? I think it was the Oprah interview. I think I posted it yesterday. There's so many ideas in my head, you guys, I can't remember. But then okay, so then the other 4, I'm learning as we're going along, and, like, Hillary seems, um, like she likes to inflict pain on people too, just the way, like, how happy she was that Alec told her, "I'm really allergic to cats," and she ends up getting 4 cats. Like, that is very defiant and incredibly, um, unempathetic, I guess you could say. Blake, I don't really know. Amber, I don't really know. Jada, um, Jada, I've only heard about in passing, and I've only heard about her marriage, very superficially, and that seems incredibly scary too. That Will Smith is okay in that kind of relationship. Like, she seems to be really consistently, putting him through a lot of pain from what I've heard. But again, I'm not very knowledgeable in all of these, but I'm gonna look and see what you guys are saying. Silver Moon, good point. There are also bad therapists. Camilla says, I don't rate narcs. They either are or they're not. Carol says HG Tutor has playlists on his channel for all of them. Thank you, Carol. TM says, I think Jada would wipe the floor with old Meg Z. Krista's asking for Blake Lively. I really don't know much about Blake. I'm learning it along with all of you. And yeah, we'll see. Yes, malignant narcissists are especially dangerous. Absolutely. Okay, Carrie. Okay, thank you, Carrie. I definitely will. Mahiri says she seems like a malignant narcissist. Yeah, I just based on how she treats Alec, she seems like that to me too, but I don't know enough. And yeah, I don't know enough and I don't want I don't want to be that person that's like she calls everyone a malignant narcissist, right? But my stepmom is definitely a malignant narcissist and Megan's behavior is on point with my stepmom's and yeah, that's my opinion about Megan. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? Sandra says that Megan is a 5. Just Me says Amber is in their opinion is histrionic as well. Okay, Marie says Blake Lively is low level. HG Tutor has done a deep dive on his channel of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Interesting, good to know. FAFO says, did you see in Daily Mail MM's new nickname is Walmart? No. No, I didn't see that. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, Carol, is that why they called her that? Because people call her Walmart Wallace, right? Joy says, "How do some stars are narc and some aren't?" You know, I'm gonna say this from what I've experienced professionally. Okay, so I work in technology. That's my 9 to 5 job, and what I've seen is that the people that are at the tops of organizations, there are certain characteristics that they need to have in order to be successful at that job. So they need to be able to make really difficult decisions, right, that impact people's lives. In order to do that, you can't have a whole lot of I mean, not that you can't have, but you need to be disconnected from the people that you make those decisions for. Does that make sense? And I think it's the same thing in Hollywood. There are certain characteristics that you need to have in order to be um, successful. And because of that, then that's why there's more, you can find more of them in that field. Oh, Harper says, "You're a techie. No wonder your edits are superb." Actually, okay, so Harper's, I'm gonna tell you I'm in biotech. So I'm really not a computer person. I've been teaching myself all of it. So thank you so much. And maybe I need to reconsider my career. Joy is saying, was that a stupid question? Absolutely not. There are no such things as stupid questions. And I think it's important to talk about it because it's like it's like recognizing that certain types of careers require certain types of skills, and some of these skills can be related to different types of personalities or personality disorders or yeah, this is my opinion. So I think I've told you all I'm not a therapist. So and this is just from my own experience and in therapy that I've been in and what I've seen in Megan and my stepmom and so many other people in my life. Marie says that is such a bow to Queen Elizabeth II's hubby, the Prince of Edinburgh, aka the King of Greece. I'm sorry, Marie, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, okay, FAFO. I saw this article in passing. It said the Montecito Mean Girls Club, and that's who gave her the name Walmart or Pumpkin Spice, mocking Megan's multiple business tries and fails. Yeah. She is a passing fad, and I think a lot of us just watch her because we wanna see we wanna see the train wreck. For me, I watch her because I learn. She validates my experience, honestly, because her behavior makes me understand my stepmom's behavior, which makes me understand my childhood. So that's my interest in her. Yeah, Melissa says you have to be able to detach emotionally to some extent in those positions. Yes, it comes more naturally to some people than others. And that's when we start to tiptoe into narcissism territory. Very well said, Melissa. Thank you. And it's not like I'm saying everybody at the top is one. No, it's just there are certain skills and certain personalities and certain feelings that lead to more successful CEOs or head of HR or, you guys know what I mean. Um, yes, and that's another thing. There are people with narcissistic tendencies and there are people with NPD. And a lot of us, we have, you know, there's a difference between putting yourself first and taking care of yourself. Some of us have some of that naturally. We all do. And sorry if I'm getting that wrong, guys. Um, but it just becomes so much more intense. Culture Cake says, "Oh my god, I knew it would be a biological science." So see, this is why I want to write that book, you guys. I've told you all I really want to write a book, and I wish there were more hours in the day, but I'm really interested in the brain gut relationship. Like, why is it that sometimes you just feel it in your stomach that you're in a dangerous place, or you feel someone's eyes on you and it feels like your stomach is in knots? Like, why does that happen? And I was, or like, why really this all started in my marriage. I came up with this book idea when I was married like 15 years ago, and I really wanted to write the book because now that I look on it in hindsight, I knew in my gut something was wrong and I couldn't understand why. So as I was looking, I found out that the same neurotransmitters that are in your brain, so serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, all of those things, they're also in your gut. And some people actually call the gut the second brain. So that's what I want to write about. I want to write about this connection between the gut and the brain. I want to also write a little bit about my own personal experiences. And then um, if there are any ways of really being able to connect with these gut feelings, like what are things we can do to practice that and to cultivate that and learn more about it so that when we do feel something in our gut, we're more likely to pay attention and be aware of it. So yeah, this is why I want to write that book. um Melissa, maybe if Megan had aimed for success with Walmart, she'd be rich by now. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Just Me. Just Me says you may not be a therapist, but you do an amazing job sharing your recovery and real life honest experience. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Krista, I don't know what's going on with the pumpkin spice. I don't know. FAFO says, can we already start to call Megan Harry's first wife? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Let me see. Squeegee says Prince Philip was not really in the line for the Greek throne. It would be like saying Beatrice would be the queen. If she were closer in line, he likely would not have been able to marry the queen. Oh, yeah. Intuition, Lizzie says, it's very important. Thank you, Lizzie. Melissa says, agreed with those who have said history would have played out very differently if Edward hadn't abdicated. There's strong evidence they wanted to get rid of him, and Wallace was the means to an end. Okay, so Melissa, I was reading about this. Well, I was listening to it in the audiobook, and they were saying that Edward, when he was young, he caught mumps, I want to say, and that he was infertile. So many were concerned about that, and that could have, and it can, again, this is rumor, right? I'm not completely sure about that. Um, but yeah, that was one of the reasons why maybe they didn't want him on the throne. Marie says the Prince of Edinburgh called her the Duchess of Windsor really early on, which opened the floodgates to names like Walmart Wallace. That, I never really made that connection before, Marie. Thank you. Yeah. Andrea says gut health, control, mental health. Isn't it so interesting? I know. Colton Cake says, sounds great. Pre-order me a copy. And honestly, it's also going to be so beneficial for me to write it because I want to learn about it, you know. Oh man, it's exciting. TMTB says how emotions are made. The Secret Life of the Brain by Lisa Feldman Barrett will blow your mind, your brain. Okay. Okay, thank you, TMTB. I will look into that. Let's see. Um, I mean, Eileen, I don't know if that was if it's supposed to be toe jam or if it's this one's wife jam. Oh my gosh. Oh, Peekaboo says pumpkin spice as in the pumpkin in the Cinderella story and spice as reference to Victoria Beckham. That's interesting. Just Me says Harry himself has narcissistic tendencies, and in my opinion, he is also antisocial. Combine that with arrested development, and you have quite the difficult personality type. I can totally see that, Just Me. Like, I have a hard time saying that he's a narcissist. I feel like I don't have any evidence to say that for sure. He has childhood trauma, he has, like you said, arrested development, and I'm not sure about the antisocial part of it. I would have to look into that. But, you take someone like that and you put them in Megan's orbit and all of these negative personality traits that maybe were hidden or under the surface, they just get exaggerated and exacerbated, basically, in my opinion. Oh, Melissa, in great contrast, William and Catherine will celebrate 14 years of marriage on Tuesday. I love it. I love it. TMTV says brains are predictive. So your brain probably recognized your husband before you put words to it. Exactly. And my gut felt it too, because my, this was like 2011 and 2011, 2012, and he and I met in 2009, married in 2011. And I already had those thoughts. Yeah. Krista says, now she says Harry is not a narcissist, but he has a lot of tendencies. Marie says, my message disappeared and it wasn't rude. Oh, I don't know. Marie, I don't know why that happened. Through the Looking Glass says, yes, Prince Philip led the way toward modernization. A lot of people did not like it, but things did begin to move forward. I mean, the first thing I can think of is, now you guys tell me if I'm wrong about this, but he was like the driving force behind having the coronation be televised. Am I right? Queen Elizabeth's coronation. Silver Moon says, so I guess we can expect a press release from California to try to compete with Wales's anniversary. Yeah. Was it April 27th or April 29th? That's their anniversary. Marie, guess what? Your comment's there. Oh my gosh, I'm just kidding, I'm just joking. I'm glad. I hope it's working now. Oh, I see another comment from Marie. Props, my bad. Well, I'm glad it's working. 29th. Thank you, Princess Carol. Thank you. Carol says Queen Elizabeth made sure he would get his name on their family. Yeah, the 29th. Thank you, Laura. I'm glad we could laugh. I love having a laugh with all of you. It's been a while. I haven't asked you guys the really funny questions. I used to do that all the time. Um, maybe next time. Maybe next time I'll have the slides ready and I'll ask you guys some really fun questions. Melissa said when he died, one headline I heard was the Queen has lost her liege man of life and limb. Oh, that's yeah, yeah, very sad. Just Me says Queen Elizabeth II and Philip were first cousins, too close for comfort. No wonder the family is stunted. Oh, I didn't know about that. I don't know about that. So I can't speak to it. Steve, a fear response can trigger a response in your gut. Yeah. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, I'm gonna end the live stream today. Wish me luck. Today's my last day of spring cleaning, hopefully. Um, I want to thank you all so much for spending this time with me. It's always such a good time. I'm glad we were able to chat. And if you could please hit the like button on your way out, I appreciate it so, so much. You guys made my Sunday morning amazing. Okay, wait. Okay, Camilla says they were absolutely not first cousins. Yeah, I don't know how close they were. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Cults and Cake. All right, everyone. I love you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good start to your week, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.